as long as you are becoming something, as long as the observer is present, know that I still exist for you. This is a very important point. Many seekers stop their spiritual journey at this stage. They have some experience of oneness, some experience of nothingness or emptiness, some experience of joy. They may even become nothingness or joy. They then feel there is nothing more to do, so they stop. But the fact is, as long as they are becoming something, there is an I. Self-inquiry is not complete, so we must not give up inquiry until the very end. All becoming, everything that we become is false. It is still an illusion. As long as we know that I have become something, self-inquiry is not finished. Self-inquiry achieves its goal only when the I becomes unknown, that is non-existence. In Ashtavakra Gita, verse 8 says, "You have been bitten by the black snake of egoism." When you say, "I am the doer," drink the nectar of faith, "I am not the doer," and be happy. One's sense of doership comes from the ignorance that I do this and I do that. I want this, I want that. The black serpent is the ego. It unleashes its poison, which is the sense of doership. When bitten and infected by that poison, the seeker becomes possessed and commits the gravest of all sins, identification with I or ego mind. A human being is inherently sinless, and no sin can touch him. It is the identification with the body, identification with the mind and ego, which causes him and those around him much misery. The black serpent, the ego, casts his spell on him, and in that hypnotic trance, he dances to the tune of that which has no independent existence. Ashtavakra advises the seeker. He advises us to drink the nectar of faith. Faith is such a critical component and an almost instant remedy for dehypnotizing himself. The sadhak must consciously and continuously maintain, "I am not the doer," and surrender everything to Mother Consciousness. No matter what appears, whether good or bad, it is that true faith cannot be cultivated, as it is a gift of grace. Nevertheless, it is important to understand and believe, at least at the intellectual level, that one is not the doer. When such a mental assertion is made, then an aspirant in due course begins to experience a sweet nectar flowing in his spiritual heart. This helps him to remain more firmly stabilized at the spiritual heart, where through deeper meditation he is able to witness the disappearance of mind, breath, and prana, the life force, and with them the black serpent of the ego. Burn down the forest of ignorance, Ashtavakra says. That burn down the forest of ignorance with the fire of understanding that I am the one pure awareness, and be happy and free from distress. The forest of ignorance symbolizes the casual state of nothingness. This is purely an experiential state that an aspirant reaches in deep meditation. Beyond the gross body and subtle body lies the casual state. It is a state of darkness and silence, yet it is also a state of ignorance, because the ego is still intact. It is the most vulnerable of all states in meditation, as a sadhak can easily get lost here within the void. Most sadhak remain stuck in the void. It is compared to a dark and silent forest where a seeker can easily lose his way, where confusion and fear plague his mind. This is why the presence of a guru is essential at this stage. The guru's guidance can help the seeker transcend this fearful and challenging state. Through proper instruction and grace, the consciousness, the mind drops into the navel effortlessly. The navel is symbolic of the fire element, Agni. Once consciousness drops to the navel, the seeker will instantly become one with everything. The entire world will be no different from him. There will be no division between him and everything else in the entire universe. The body disappears, all name, all form disappears, and in total samadhi, he becomes one with the universe. Later, even the universe becomes small in comparison with you and is seen as rising and falling at spiritual heart, and have the entire feeling that you are its creator. You told the universe within you, you hold, and there is no great happiness for you to know than that is universe, that this universe is born out of you, and that you are the source of all. That joy in which all disappears and is imagined like seeing a snake in a rope. That supreme joy and awareness is what you are, and so be happy. Ashtavakra declares that you are supreme joy itself. Supreme joy means all pleasures they pale in comparison to what is experienced as your true sense of I amness. This is a state of tremendous joy which is inconceivable, unimaginable, and this is referred to as Sat Chit Ananda because it is the state of complete jnana, pure, unaltered state of consciousness and supreme joy. It is here in this state that a sadhak gets knowledge of true source of I amness. The seeker learns that it originates from the spiritual heart, from where the waves of bliss rise and fall. You explode with such intensity that there comes the feeling that I am the creator of entire universe. The source of substratum is this joy, and universe is only a superimposition on that joy. You exist beyond this entire universe, and you have been mistakenly identified with the unreal. But once the substratum is apprehended, the illusory superimposition will immediately disappear, and the illusion of the snake will end with the awareness that it is the truth, only a rope. Hence, Ashtavakra enjoins the seeker to arrive at such awareness and be supreme happy. And he says, if one thinks of oneself as free as one is free, and if one thinks of oneself as bound, one is bound. Here the saying is, thinking makes it so true. It's true. It's a well-known saying that as we think, so we become. Thought dictates our lives. We experience everything through thought. Thought is the starting point for everything that manifests in our lives. Our sense of being, how we feel, is usually dictated by our thoughts. If we smell success in something, we feel good. And if we think we fail, we do not feel good. If we anticipate future trouble, we will experience pain. And if we think everything will work out well, we will be happy or at peace. It is thought that feeds what we actually feel. Good thought naturally help us to feel good, to feel happy. Bad thought create a mental, physical disturbance. We must therefore try think positively as we can, because this effort will enrich our lives and the lives of those around us. Thought is energy, and when it becomes forceful and strong enough, positively or negatively, it becomes matter and can help or harm the aspirant and others. So the first step is to replace negative thoughts with positive ones by thinking good thoughts, and by being good, you will always feel good. The second step is much deeper level. Here you trace back to the region, the source of thought itself. You take one step back from all thought, becomes a witness of them. You bring yourself to the center, prior of what rise or fall by way of thought, emotion and memories. You find that pleasant, unpleasant events happening, experience will not touch your sense of being, and that you will be happy all the time. There will be only one thought, and that will be I am joy. I am ever new joy is the only thought that you will know that you become that supreme joy. This is what Ashtavakra means when he says, as you think, so do you become. It is about direct experience, not a mental mere affirmation. This is the direct contrast to the new Advaita teaching, which declare that you are free right at this very moment, and that there is nothing to do with respect to any sadhana except holding the highest truth. This is merely another mental concept. The Bhagavad Gita sums up this perfectly. Lord Krishna says, O son of Kunti, the fate of man after death is decided by the thought that predominates in the moment of death. The thought is the foundation on which the next birth is built. Note that the Lord says it is that one predominant thought which determines the state of a seeker. So, if your most dominant thought is that of joy and bliss, that will be your fate, free of all sufferings arising from identification with the ego. However, it is important to realize that this final dominant thought at death is hardly going to be one of joy and bliss. If you are habituated to thinking negatively and have remained identified with your mind and body. Ashtavakra completely says that the cause of our suffering is the illusion that makes it appear as if I am the doer, I am the enjoyer, I am the one suffering. The mind has created all these fake illusions, and we have identified with the fallenness and gotten trapped in its working. Shri Ramana Maharishi illustrated this wonderfully. He asked us to notice what happened during a movie and how we get carried away with what is shown on screen. We look at the images that are being projected on the blank scene and believe them to be real. These images can make us laugh, cry, depending on what is being shown on the screen. We do not see the light that projects the images or the screen on which the images are being projected. We only looked at the projected images, identified with them, react and respond to them. The images we see are completely false, cannot exist without the screen. So the substratum for all that appears. Only the screen is real and it remains eternally unchanged even when the images keep changing. The screen is not affected by anything that is superimposed on it. It is always same and accepts all type of images, good or bad. Screen is internally pure, pristine, even if the projected image show blood stains, violence, the screen remain untamed. Even when the movie light finally go off, screen remain unchanged. The screen is the self. Images are all thought pattern, emotions, body forms, and the individual I-ness that are superimposed on the self. A generally knows that all such impositions are unreal, false appearances. He remains the background, self blissful, desireless, actionless consciousness.